We've got two pivotal elimination games, game sixes for this Thursday night, May the 1st. May is here, and we've got two important game sixes in the NBA, one in the East, one in the West, both on national TV. And most importantly, I'm going to give you sides, totals, player props, free analysis, free picks right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And by definition, game sixes have to be elimination games. Somebody's got to be up 3-2, and that is the case, of course, with both of these series. I did the video on Tuesday, and we had three of the games were 3-1s. And I asked you in the comments in the chats, who do you think is the one road team that could force a game six? And I'll give you all credit. The majority of you said the Detroit Pistons. In fact, everybody said the Detroit Pistons. I don't think a single person said the Magic or the Bucks. The Bucks almost got it done, lost by a point in overtime. But yes, the Pistons pulled the upset win. They lived to play another day, and now they're actually a 2-point favorite in game six on Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern. But I think the run ends here. I like the Knicks in this one. New York is definitely a live dog. And if you're going to play the Knicks, you probably don't not only want to play the +2, but you also want to look at the money line plus $1.10, $1.15. And the reason I say that is because obviously as a 2-point dog, they probably need to win outright to get the cover. And that's been the case. These teams have now played 9 times this season, and the straight-up winner is also 9-0 against the spreads. Once again, the straight-up winner has covered all 9 games this year. I think the Knicks are a live dog at +2. Take a look up on the money line as well. Let's look at some player props here. By the way, the Game 5 result really came down to free throws. New York was terrible from the free throw line. They were just 59%. They missed 11 free throws, and Detroit outscored them by 10 from the charity stripe on the road, and they won that game, of course, by only 3. So New York was +7 from the field, and I think that will be the difference. I look for the free throws to be a little more equal here in Game 6 on Thursday night. Player props. If I lean New York, then we got to look at the Knicks players to maybe go over. And as I mentioned the other day in Game 5, Jalen Brunson had been unstoppable. He finally had that off game, and I think we can take advantage now with the Brunson total points over. It's the first time he was held under 30 points in the series. He's priced at 28.5 again, and once again, he had 30 or more in each of the first 4 games, and he only had 16 points in Game 5 on Tuesday night, but he was only 4 for 16 shooting and 1 for 4 from 3. He got to the free throw line 10 times, which I think is a good sign, and hit 7 of them. So once again, he got to the free throw line that just the 2-point shots and the threes weren't falling. That's an abnormality for Jalen Brunson. Over or pass for me with Brunson. We're never looking to fade superstars in big games. And the fact he's coming off that one off night, I think his over 28.5 is definitely worth a look. Only concern is that he does have an ankle injury. He's listed as probable, but his ankle's not 100%. But doesn't it seem to be that way every game, every year for Jalen Brunson? And he still plays big. And once again, games 1, 2, 3, and 4, he had 30 points or more every time. I look for him to bounce back strong. Another Nick I think that should have a good game is Karl Anthony Towns, the other superstar on this team. He had only 17 points in game number 5, and he didn't shoot well either, just 5 for 14. But like Brunson, he was good from the free throw line. He got there 5 for 6. In fact, Brunson and Towns took 16 of their 27 free throw attempts, and also they took 30 field goal attempts combined and only had 33 combined points. I look for Towns to have a big bounce back game as well. His point total is priced around 22.5 to 23, and he had 23 points or more in 3 of the first 4 games until scoring just 17. In fact, the only other time he didn't have at least 23 or more was game 2 when he had only 10 points. What did he do? He bounced back with 31 and 27 the next 2 games. So once again, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, point props both over make a lot of sense to me, and they should get the majority of the shots and the minutes as well. Detroit Pistons, one guy you might want to look to fade as far as player props go for Detroit is Thompson. This is a guy that had a real big game the other night. I don't look for that to continue here. And once again, I think Asar Thompson is going to regress. He was 8 for 10 shooting with 22 points. And to put that in perspective, this is a guy that before the 22-point game the other night had scored 10 points or less in the other 4 games, including 8 points or less in the previous 3. His point total is right around 10, 10.5. And once again, he had 10 or less in each of the first 4 games, 8 or less in the previous 3. So that 22-point performance by Asar Thompson was obviously an outlier on Tuesday night. And he only took 10 shot attempts, only played 28 minutes. And we go back to game 4, he only played 22 minutes and only had 7 shot attempts. So once again, I look for Thompson to regress. He'd be a good point total under the 10, 10.5 on the Pistons side. That game, once again, on NBA TV at 7:30 Eastern Thursday night. All right, going to get your late game Nuggets and Clippers in just a moment. Free play and analysis on both side totals and player props there as well. Quick reminder, though, I give you sides, totals, player props in every game this postseason. I'm doing every NBA playoff game every day right here on WagerTalk TV. So if you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, and positive comments below, and I will keep these videos coming. Also, let me know who you like tonight in these two games. And make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell so you get an instant alert when these videos are posted each day. In fact, they're usually posted the night before, so you have plenty of time to watch them as you're doing your own handicapping as well. Quick reminder, though, if I'm doing opinions in every single game, that doesn't mean I'm playing every single game. I'm very selective for my client best bets. I average maybe 2 to 3 best bets per night in baseball and basketball combined, and we are on a monster run once again, finishing April on a 70% run, and now May 1st is here. This is the time to get on board. I said it last year, and we finished number 1 overall last year in the NBA, also number 1 overall in best bet profit in baseball at WagerTalk, and it started right now as the summer months are approaching. In fact, by last year, by the end of August, my clients had already doubled their bankroll and won over 100 units. We finished up over 133 units for all of 2024. So now is the time to start taking a true investment approach. And I've got 2 special offers for all sports, all access. By the way, it doesn't matter if you get 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. Every client gets the same plays I am personally using each day. Just different price points, different durations. Obviously, the bigger packages are going to save you more. And if you're taking a true investment approach, I highly recommend those. Get to the 1 year special in a moment. But if you'd like to try a smaller package, right now is a great time because if you buy 2 weeks, you get the 3rd week for free. Once again, 2 weeks, you get the 3rd week for free. That's 21 days for less than $9.50 a day. There is no promo code needed. You see the special offer on your screen right now. 21 days for less than $10 a day. It's actually about $9.40 a day for baseball and basketball. That's all sports. The next 3 weeks, buy 2, get the 3rd week free. No promo code needed. It's that simple. Now, if you're ready to take a true long-term investment approach, the 1 year all sport, all access is by far the best package. And if you use promo code SM365, you get an instant $811 discount. Why that exact number? Because it gets it down to exactly $3 a day, just over $1 a play. That's why I'm doing that special $811 discount with promo code SM365. That's the 1 year all access, 365-day pass. That's going to get, obviously, next year's college football and pro football seasons, all of next year's college basketball season through March Madness, all of next year's NBA regular season into the first month of the playoffs, the rest of this year's playoffs, the rest of this year's baseball into the first month of next year's baseball. You get the point. It is 365 days straight of all sports, all access, football, baseball, and basketball for about $1 a play. But you got to use promo code SM365 at checkout on the 1 year all access. Get to my page right now and check them out, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. And don't forget, I post a bonus free play every day on my page as well. All right, let's get to the late night game here at 10 Eastern on TNT Thursday night. Nuggets, Clippers, Game 6. And I think the better team is down 3-2 in this series. Nuggets got it done in Game 5 at home, and now the Clippers are in do-or-die situation, and I do think they bounce back with a strong effort here. Point spread open 6.5. It's been bet up to 7. Some sharp money on the Clippers. I agree with that move. And don't let the big numbers scare you. I mentioned that Knicks Pistons series this year, that the straight-up winner has covered all 9 times. Well, guess what? The straight-up winner in this series has covered 8 of 9 times this year. The only time it didn't happen was Game 1 when the Clippers covered by a point as a 3-point dog, losing by 2 in overtime. Had they won in regulation or won outright, they would have covered, obviously. So once again, the 8 games in regulation this year, 8-0 straight up, point spread 8-0, and that one non-cover is an OT game. So once again, my point is if you don't think the Nuggets are going to win the game outright, you probably don't want to just take the points thinking the line looks high. I like the Clippers here. Big number doesn't scare me, as I do think they win this game and force a Game 7, which means if you're going to play it, you want to lay it with LA. And it's probably correlated to the total in this one, under 212. We saw it open 212.5, and the early sharp money came in on the under and the Clippers, and I thoroughly agree because LA is the much better defensive team, and they've been a great defensive team overall this season. In fact, the Clippers are really playing solid basketball. I've talked about this in some other videos. Over the last 15 games of the regular season, the Clippers had the best net rating in the NBA. They were ahead of both Oklahoma City and Boston and even Cleveland. And the Clippers had the best net rating over the final 15 games of the regular season, and it wasn't a fluke. They were the number 1 rated offense and the number 3 rated defensive efficiency team over the final 15 games of the regular season. In fact, they didn't lose a game in April until that Game 1 overtime loss last week. I do look for them to bounce back, and once again, most likely if they win, they're going to get the cover, as the straight-up winner is 8-1 against the spread so far in the 9 games between these teams. Yes, the Nuggets are playing better basketball since firing Michael Malone a few weeks ago, The players didn't like him. They got rid of the GM as well. A little bit of a bump there. But still, the Clippers are the better team. And if, once again, look at the last 15 games of the regular season, I realized that Denver wasn't playing well until the coach changed. So once again, a little bit of an asterisk. Nuggets were only 18th in net rating, and they were outside the top 10 in both offense and defensive efficiency. So my point is the Clippers are the better team. They were the better team down the stretch. And with their backs against the wall, back at home in elimination mode, it'd be LA or pass for me. And I think that correlates to the under 212 also. I don't recommend playing parlays in general. And by the way, I love the questions. I do read the comments. I reply back. Whenever you have a question, general handicapping question, betting question, feel free to ask. I've been doing this for 29 years, starting in 1996. Sometimes I take things for granted, realize the younger, newer bettors don't look at things the same way. And a lot of people ask me, should you play parlays? And I always say no. And in general, you should not, because the house edge is so skewed, you're better off just playing straight individual games. And that's what all my clients play. The one time you can maybe find a little bit of an edge with a parlay are when the side and total are correlated in a game. And I do think that's the case here. So once again, I'm not saying it's a great play, but if you do want to do a two-team parlay, Clippers and under, in my opinion, would make some sense in this one, as I think LA is going to win it with some defense. So Clippers -7 and under 212.5 would somewhat be correlated. And that's the only time you can start maybe looking at 2 or 3 team parlays, is if the sides, totals, all are correlated results. All right, if I do think it's going to be a fairly low-scoring game, then I want to look at some Nugget players under. And obviously, Nugget team total under would make sense here as well. If you lean Clippers, if you lean under in the game, I think they're both correlated. The Nuggets team total under 102.5 is probably worth a look here. So let's just simplify it. Nuggets team total under 102.5, and that gets me looking at some Nugget team players, player props under as well. Never looking to fade Jokic. We've talked about that. He had another triple-double. Had only 13 points in 36 minutes, and he still got a triple-double because he had 10 rebounds, 12 assists. He's had a triple-double in 3 of the 5 games now. He's missed the other ones by 1 and 2 in each. 1 assist, 2 rebounds, or vice versa. I forget the order. But my point is, you never look to fade Jokic. One guy I do think we could maybe fade, though, is Michael Porter Jr. He had a big game with 14 points, but he was only 5 for 10 shooting and did not get a lot of shot attempts. 3 for 5 from 3. Can't play much better than that. And he is posted total now is at 12.5. So once again, he had 14 points on premier shooting. Can't go much higher than that. And now he's 12.5. So I do think Porter Jr. Regresses a little bit. Looking back in game 4, he did have 17 points, but he played 42 minutes and got 11 shot attempts and 4 for 7 from 3 and still landed 17. So he's really been playing about his max the last 2 games. If I think the Clippers are going to have the edge in this one, which I do, Porter Jr. is a guy I would look to fade here in game number 5 for the Nuggets. As far as the Clippers, it's tricky because I like the Clippers side, but I think it could be low scoring. So kind of neutral on the Clipper player props. I would lean them over, obviously, but once again, if I think they're going to play a lower scoring game, the under props might hit. By the way, one guy that was priced to perfection, once again, it was Dunn. I've mentioned him the last couple of videos. Chris Dunn had a nice 15-point game, and I did say I thought he would break out after scoring just 6, 3, and 5 in the previous one. So I gave you Dunn over 5.5 or 6.5 in game number 5 as a free prop here in the video. It cashed easily with 15 points. I'm not looking to play him under, but I would probably stay off it now as he was 6 for 7 shooting and only played 25 minutes. So once again, can't play much better than he did in game number 5, but we did cash a nice winner here in the video for you. So I hope you took advantage of that Dunn over 6.5. I'd probably stay off that one now here in game number 6. All right, there you go. 2 games. We're going to have only 1 or 2 games going forward, but I will continue to give you every game in the playoffs every day right here on WagerTalk TV. If you're doing thumbs up and you're commenting below. Once again, if I know you're liking the videos, thumbs up and commenting below. That means I will keep giving you free play videos on every game through the NBA Finals for the next 2 months. And once again, click subscribe and click that bell as well for instant alerts, when these are posted the night before, and have plenty of time to get on board and watch early as you're doing your own handicapping. And speaking of handicapping, who do you like? Sides, totals, player props. What are you looking at in these 2 game 6s on Thursday night? Knicks, Pistons, and Nuggets, Clippers. Comment below. Hey, include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them. I do read the comments and reply back. And one final note, 2 to 3 best bets on average for my clients, which means that last cut's very selective. That last cut is pretty strong. I give you a lot of free opinions here in the videos, but I also put my strongest remaining opinion up free every day on my page at WagerTalk.com. So once again, 2 to 3 best bets on average, which means that last cut that was just a bit outside for making the best bet card, hey, it goes up for free for everybody with analysis. So check out the daily free play. Check out the previous best bets. You'll see the 70% run to finish April, 14-6 run into the final day of April in all sports over the last couple of weeks, because the last 20 best bets are recapped, win or lose, every day on my page. And you can click on them as well to read the analysis afterwards. If you're new to sports betting, if you're still building your bankroll, I highly recommend going to my page on a daily basis. You can read the recap of the best bets, learn while you earn, get the free play, and then when you're ready to start taking a real investment approach consistently, try an all sport, all access. Buy 2 weeks, get the third week free. No promo code needed, about $9.50 a day. Or the big boy, the serious investment approach, the 1 year all access, all sports every day for the next 365 days and nights, football, basketball, and baseball for about $1 a play with promo code SM365. Don't have to memorize it. It's all listed on the page right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And, of course, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. You can also follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L. You see it on the bottom of the screen right there, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.